Bless you, brothers and sisters. This is Rakash Yar from the Gathering of Christ Church, saying bless you all in the name of the Most High, Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya. We're here on a Sunday night, and lately we've been opening the show for open forums, and I guess we're going to keep that open forum going. Okay, people have a lot of questions according to prophecy and what's going on in the earth today, and we're going to give you a number to call in, 347-308-8224. I want to continue in the vein we were in last week. We covered a few topics. Of course, we're going to open this up for a open dialogue. 347-308-8224. But I would like to first start off by thanking the Most High for allowing Elder Zionash and the brother deacon in the church, Emmanuel, for allowing them to settle down safely in Israel. They're in Israel now, and through the Spirit of the Most High, preparing things and getting things ready. I know they're over there praying and hopefully teaching and doing some baptisms while they're there, doing some preparation. Okay, so we'd like to thank the Most High, and we thank you all out there for your prayers for the brethren and for the church. Okay, I want to open this up with, first, I want to open this up personally with an apology. Okay. Y'all probably asking, what is the brother apologizing for? And maybe other brothers out there should apologize and come step to the plate also. And I'm going to explain why I'm putting this apology out there. Because we talk about a nation, we talk about growing as a family, and you know, the foundation of a church, the foundation of this earth, the foundation of our existence is family. That's the bane of our existence. And it seems that there's been a lot of blame on women that we need to examine. Okay? Of course, sisters have made some mistakes and brothers have dropped the ball, but we tend to look more so at the negative of what we see in media, opposed to the sisters that are really holding it down, even when brothers have dropped the ball. Sisters that are trying the best they can to raise their families and do what's right and waiting for the man to come around, and she's there. So we're not going to bash our sisters. We're going to say thank you to our sisters who have sacrificed the best they could to raise family, even though it's hard to raise a man as a woman. Our sisters have tried the best they could. So it's time for the men to step up, all right? And we want to commend the sisters that are doing the right thing. We don't want to put sisters that are doing the right thing in the same boat or paint them with a broad brush. Okay? All sisters are not the same, the way all brothers are not the same. You have some brothers that want to do right, brothers that fear the Lord. Okay, now, we all have made error. So instead of pointing the finger at each other to heal as a nation, we must begin to understand each other. And I'm going to go into some scriptures. We know what we've suffered in captivity. We understand that wholeheartedly. We understand beyond any shadow of a doubt that the Willie Lynch syndrome had a profound effect on our nation, the nation of Israel. We know it. You've heard the stories over and over again. The strongest and greatest of the virile black man is mocked as an example before the people. Excuse me. Is mocked as an example before the people. Excuse me, is mocked as an example before the people. And while he's pulled apart the women in their fair state, have no recourse but to protect the generation that's coming from their womb, in fear that their child, their young, strong, virile son may one day get pulled apart. So she teaches them to be passive, not because she wants to, in fear of what the master might do to her child. Now, we can look at that one or two ways. We can look at that as blaming her for raising the child in effeminate or, in an effeminate vibration, or we can look at her as a nurturing woman that's protecting her child. So the only way we can break this phenomenon is stop the blaming and go into the scriptures and show brothers and sisters what they should be, what we desire to be. Okay? And I've done this myself by examining some of the videos we've put up, and all the videos we put up are true. We put up the perception this world have on our sisters out there. We put that perception out there. Why the other nations are able to marry, but 80% of the sisters are not married, 70 to 80%. We put those things out there not to blame them, but to say maybe they could look at themselves and say, you know what, we're not going to be a statistic. But there's not enough balance. It seems like we focus more so on the negative than saying, okay, let us point out that 20%. Okay? Let us magnify that 20%, or that small few that are single that choose to be that way because they refuse to settle for nothing. And you can chime in if you would like. We're going to have an open board. Now, this is what we don't want. We don't want an open board tonight for the first 30 minutes where we have open lines. And then in the last 20 minutes, once things start getting hot, we have 30 people waiting. If you have something to say, or if you wish to chime in, if you wish to ask any questions, this is the time to call in so that we can bring you in immediately. The number you have to call in is 347-308-8224. That's the guest phone number, 347-308-8224. I'm going to go into Corinthians again, because like we spoke of before, we mentioned before, that it really starts with the man. We're going to go in Corinthians. I mean, how would you be if you love someone and they told you that you can trust me, that I love you, and you gave up everything for this person, and in return, this person dogged you out. This person left you on the side. This person preferred other people above you. And then after that, you turn around and bring all types of outside diseases and things and all types of wickedness in the household. And then you would expect this person that have dealt with all this evil to act normal, to act rational. And then you put it on her, on the woman, to do all these things, to raise the home, to find a way for the child, to make sure the child go to the hospital and doctor, make sure that the women looking out to make sure the child go to the dentist, then have to work, then have to hold the job, work at places they don't want to work, to take care of things because the man is doing what? So it's easy to bash the end result, to look at the end result of a woman trying to make ends meet, opposed to asking, how did she get in this condition and how can we help her, because she want to be right. Brothers, we have to step up. We've all made mistakes. All of us, every last one of us. So now, the Lord is guiding us back as a people. Okay, we're not here to blame the white man. Okay? Okay, yeah, we know the government structure have a say in our goings and have an unseen hand in our families. But in order for us to get this together, we're going to have to ignore the other people and link in to our people. Point the finger to ourselves and say, what have I done to attribute to the end result of our nation? What have I done to allow our sisters to be out there like that? I'm going to read this. 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So as men, we'll be quick to pull out this scripture. I'm the head. I'm the leader. But if you're going to be reverenced as a head, or if we as men, let me put myself in there, are going to be reverenced as men of the Most High, we have to treat our wives, our sisters, our daughters like Christ treated the church. Christ didn't leave us out there. He sacrificed himself for us. We know it's not easy, but we have to sacrifice ourselves for our wives, for our women, for our sisters, for our daughters. We have to sacrifice ourselves. I'm in the New Testament. We have to be long-suffering. We have to be patient with them. And believe us, brothers, we all know the grass is not always green on the other side. Okay? I'm at Ephesians, the 5th chapter. If you have your Bible, write it down. Ephesians 5:25. It says, a matter of fact, let me start at the 20th verse. Giving thanks always for all things unto the Most High and the Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, which we know is Yeshua, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. So in relationships, we must submit ourselves one to another in the fear of the Most High. It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord. So if a wife have a husband, especially a husband that's trying to do right, nothing wrong with submitting yourself. Don't think that's weak. That's strong. That's strength. Now, you're not supposed to be passive and let someone abuse you and run over you. That's not what the Scripture is saying. But if you have a man that's trying to serve the Lord, support him and submit him. That's what the Scriptures are saying. Submit to him. 23rd verse, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Okay? Now, of course, you can't be in a situation where a husband is leading a woman down the wrong path. A husband is leading her to destruction or to follow Satan. It's not saying submit yourself to a man that's worshiping Baal. Okay? But still, if you have someone that's half decent, trying to do right, sisters, there's nothing wrong according to the Bible. There's nothing wrong with submitting yourself to a man that's trying to keep his family together and respect you and love you. There's more. Husbands, the 25th verse. Love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the Word. Yes, as men we provide certain things. We provide carnal things. We provide a place to stay sometimes. We provide money for the house, groceries, or what have you. But the only way that we can keep our wives cleansed is through the Word. Taking our time with our families. If you meet somebody, take your time. Get this Bible with them. Go over the Bible. Nurture them in the Bible. This is how we cleanse our women and keep them clean so that when we're not around, they have the Word of the Most High with them. So we must take our time. If you're interested in someone, because you all know, the flesh is the flesh, and one day the flesh is going to go away. But if that spirit is not connected and if she's not nurtured, and you're not nurtured in the Word, then the relationship can only go but so far. But we can't keep blaming the women for everything, because the women are the bearers of the nation, and they are an important ingredient. If they weren't that important, then this government would not have planned eugenics to try to stop that child from coming through that might be the next leader, the spiritual leader that would lead our people in the time of trouble. So our women, if we are men of the Most High and call ourselves Israel and say we're special, we have to know that the daughters of Zion are special too. We have someone from the 703 area code. How are you this evening? This is Brother Rakashiar.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, shalom. I'm just listening, brother. Listening in. I don't have any questions other than, do you have any brothers in the area that I can connect with? And I think you mentioned before there's some brothers down here that come up to Philly, so just listening today, but definitely want to connect and fellowship if I can.
What state are you in, sister?
I'm in Virginia.
You're in Virginia. What part of Virginia?
Arlington.
Arlington. I think we have a sister and brother not too far from there. How far are you from the Washington, D.C. area?
Less than 5 minutes.
5 minutes, because we do have a few brothers there.
Okay.
So what I can do... Now, did you come in from... Did you dial in just to listen, or are you listening through your computer?
No, I'm listening on the phone, not through the computer.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. So what I'll do is I will... One moment, okay?
Yeah.
Let me take your information, and unfortunately what I'll do is I'll hang up on you, but you can call right back, and once I see your number, I won't answer it since you're using the phone to listen, okay?
That's fine.
That's what we'll do. Let me grab a pen real quick. Okay, let me grab an ink pen, and I'll put your information down. So you're listening to the show tonight?
Yep.
What do you think about the show? What do you think about the content, what we're talking about right now?
Wow. I'm at a loss for words in terms of what I think about it. It's edifying, and I think highly enough of it to stay up late. That's way past the time I would be asleep, but I couldn't sleep because I knew I was going to listen. I knew I was going to pick up the phone at 11 o'clock and listen to the show, so it's important. It's timely, and the Word tells us to be sober-minded, especially in the last days.
Yes.
So I think it contributes to that a great deal, and I praise the Most High for that.
Well, that's a blessing, sister. We do have some brothers and sisters in the D.C. and Virginia area. I know we have some strong brothers, and we have a sister out in Virginia that's very, very strong. Her and her husband and family, they're holding it down. So I know that they'll be more than happy to welcome you and sit down and break bread with you, okay? Because I know how it is to have information and understanding, and you're living in a world where the majority is in a rat race and no one understands.
I can't even begin to tell you.
Yeah.
And you're looking at people that you know are going to perish. And it's difficult. My mom passed away not too long ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She saw the changes that were going on with me, And I would tell her about the Most High, and she would agree with me, but she wouldn't make any changes. She wouldn't, she wouldn't stop some of the things she was doing, and she would look at me and she would say, "You're the strong one." And she would tell me that she knew that the Most High was dealing with me. She knew it. And when she got sick, she just looked at me and was like, pray for me. And I knew she wanted me to save her, and I couldn't because the Most High had not allowed for that to happen.
Okay.
But this is real. People, I don't think they understand how real it is.
What is your name again, sister?
It's Kara.
Excuse me?
It's Kara.
Kara. Okay.
Yeah, this is.
I want to say this, Kara. I mean, your mother believed in you, and that's a blessing.
Yeah.
She's seen something in you, and the key thing is, we can break the slavery of our past generation. So, through the Spirit of the Most High, you can live for your mother. Stand in truth and be that daughter of Zion that the Most High is commanding us to be, to stand up like spiritual men and women and soldiers in the army of the Most High.
Absolutely.
And we're going to make sure we send out a prayer for you, too. But we're going to stay in contact with you so that, you could link in with the brothers and sisters down in the Virginia area, okay?
I would love it.
All right?
Yeah, I would love that, absolutely.
All right, so we're going to make sure I'm going to put a date on here. Someone will call you tomorrow, okay?
That would be great. Do you need my email? What do you need?
Well, I don't think you should put your email out in public, but I do have your number. Your number that showed up, is that your number?
No, it's not. You can leave a message at this number, but it won't get to me.
Okay, well, this is what I need you to do, sister. You can leave your information, and this is for everyone that's listening. The email is gathering as one. That's the number one on the end. Gathering as one with the number one. We don't want it spelled out, with the number one on the end.
Okay.
At AOL.com.
All right, so GATHERINGAS number one at AOL.com.
Exactly, as one, but it's the number one on the end.
Got it.
All right? And what we'll do is we'll make sure one of the brothers, probably Brother Shaquata, to get in contact with you, and we'll take it from there. But just keep listening.
Absolutely.
And keep following the Most High. That's the key point there.
What do you want me to put in the contact line so you know that it's
well, you was going to give some information where, in case we have to send you literature or what have you, or you can leave your contact information or what have you.
No, I mean in the subject line so you know that it's me following up.
Just put your name in the subject line and called on the radio or something like that, okay?
All right, cool.
All right?
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, sister, and bless you, okay?
Bless
all right.
you.
And if you call back, I'm going to make sure, since you're listening through the phone, that I won't pick up, all right?
Okay.
All right, bless you.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, thank the Father. We have an open board. Okay, we're going to open it up for any question. The number you can call in is 347-308-8224. 347-308-8224. We have someone that's calling in from the 832 area code. Okay,
hello?
This is Brother Ricard.
How's it going?
How are you this evening?
Pretty good. My name is Adrian. Man, today I've been doing a lot of extensive research. I don't know how long you got, as far as your listeners having questions, but I got a few questions if you don't mind answering them real quick.
Okay, let me put your name down, Adrian. One moment, okay?
All right.
Okay, what city are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas, currently in Atlanta, Georgia right now.
Houston, Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we should be down in your area soon.
Good.
Okay, but what we'll do is, since we have an open board, all right, we're going to deal with your questions, and we ask the Most High that He allow the information or the scriptures to come as clear as possible to give you answers. Okay, I'll answer you at the best of my ability, okay?
All right.
Okay, what is your first question?
Okay. Real quick, like I'm doing a project for my class Tuesday,
Okay.
and the teacher let me do whatever project I wanted. So I chose to do the nations of the world, 12 tribes of Israel, and explain, where they all went. But I have a question as far as when we left. I want to say we left Israel and we kind of fled to Africa.
Yeah.
And like from Rome, where did we get picked up by the Europeans in West Africa exactly? Because I want to be able to show them on the map.
Okay. The way it happened, a matter of fact, let me get scripture.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's kind of tough attempting to show history through the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they have used the Bible as some sort of, the way they portray the Bible, they made it out to be a fairy tale and open to any man's interpretation without any historical value. But if you put it together well and stick with the scriptures, and I'll give you some references,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that you can use, reparable sources that you can use, all right?
Okay.
And with these sources, not only will you probably ace the project
Mm-hmm.
through the Spirit of the Most High, you might bring somebody to the truth of the Most High, which is more important.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long you'll last in that school.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just being a little joking.
Well, I don't know. So far, man, I've been doing pretty good just speaking my mind because it's our appreciation class, and we just been going through history from the beginning to it, and we just got off of Christianity and Judaism. And every time I get a chance, I usually put out, my brother been listening to you for the past 3-4 months. And he introduced me to you really, but so I kind of put out what I've been learning through some of your teachings, and I think my professor he wants me to get a chance to be able to teach on some of the stuff that I've been learning. So that's why I think why he allowed me to do whatever project I want. So
okay.
I'm getting a good opportunity, but I just want to make sure I don't mess it up or leave anything. I don't leave any stones unturned or whatever.
Okay, well, I'm at Luke 20, the 21st chapter, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Now, when you get a chance, I want you to pick up the complete works of the Josephus. Okay, Josephus is a Greek or Roman name for Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Josephus was a great historian during the time of our fall in 70 AD under the Romans,
Mm-hmm.
under Vespasian and his son Titus, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, so when you get this book called the Josephus, you'll go directly to the information on the War of the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's similar to how they deal with us today. They had a Roman campaign against Jerusalem and said that there was a plot of Israelites or Jews that were planning to overthrow Rome. They used that as a pretext to occupy Rome in 70 AD and eventually destroy Israel on our last stand.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
And Christ spoke of this about 40 years before it happened. So it's not only prophecy, it's history.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and when you back up Scripture with history, like the history books, you got that. You got another book called From Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph Ard Windsor. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Now, make sure when you get your Josephus, and it's inexpensive, it don't cost that much,
Mm-hmm.
you look up a word called Masada, M-A-S-A-D-A. Masada was our last garrison or protective city.
Uh-huh.
So they went through Jerusalem killing people in Jerusalem, but it was it was a tougher task to deal with those that were in the mountains of Masada.
Mhm.
So Vespasian told his son Titus, there's no way you can beat them because they're on higher ground. The only way to defeat them, we must starve them out. So they dug a trench around Masada and didn't allow any man or woman to come down from the mountain, and eventually starved them out.
Mhm.
Similar to what they're going to do on the border soon. But make sure you look up Masada in the back of your Josephus, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to read the scripture, Luke the 20th chapter in prophecy, where Yeshua, which is Christ, said, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains. Those mountains our people fled to are the mountains called the Atlas Mountains, between Europe and Africa. Okay? They settled, a lot of our people settled in Morocco. Okay? There's a book you can get of great historical value called Hebrewism in West Africa. With that book, it'll show you all the different areas we settled. There's another book you can get by Rudolph Ard Windsor called Judea Trembles under Rome. Trembleth under Rome. Okay, and that shows areas we settled. All right?
Okay.
I hope you write down these titles, okay?
Yeah,
now,
I got that.
The Romans did not catch us in Africa. It was their job to destroy those before we fled. Let me read it again. Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon his people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. This is showing two things. This is showing how the Israelites were destroyed as a people. That's number one. And are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and was eventually led into captivity. That's the first thing when it comes to Israel. Also, it's showing that the people in Israel today are Gentiles. Because the times of the Gentiles have not been fulfilled because they're still ruling. So you want to be able to break that down correctly to show two things. That number one, the real Israelites, according to Christ, would go into captivity. Now, that's a segue to bring in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and the 68th verse when it comes to the slave ships.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
So you can use that. There's some sources I've just mentioned. If you get a few of those sources, you'll do well.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
We ran into Morocco. We settled there for a while. Eventually, we made our way from east to west, and we settled in the Ivory Coast, the western parts of Africa. Okay? We settled also in a land called Timbuktu. It was a jungle, but in the midst of the jungle was a golden city that we built. Eventually, the Europeans found us there hundreds of years later because the Arabs eventually ratted Israel out. And then the other nations came with a new campaign to eventually destroy God's people, okay?
Yeah.
Now, we do have an open board. We have people waiting. I need y'all to hold on tight. We're going to bring you all in. So do not hang up if you're on the line. What is your next question? I can answer one more question than what I can do from here. What is your name again, brother? Your name is?
Adrian.
Adrian. What I can do, Adrian, is I can, off the phone, I can call you and answer the rest of your questions. But I can answer one more question on the phone. What is your second question?
Okay. Well, let me choose one of them. All right. I heard that King James was black and all the kings in the line was black. Was King James really black, or was that like a misconception?
Okay. That is a good question. And wherever you got that information from, you got some correct information.
Okay.
It was not called the Dark Ages for nothing. King James was the last black emperor of Europe, who sat on 3 thrones at once.
Mm-hmm.
His son, Prince Charles, was beheaded, and then after that ushered in the Renaissance period, where they started whitewashing all the dark images white.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that is true. King James was a black man. Even when you look at in the prefaces of some Bibles, it tells you that one reason for his translation, one main reason for him translating it from English, or not him translating it, but getting the translators to translate it, is because he knew that Israel was going to go into captivity in that land.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew that we would speak another language. So he had to authorize it, knowing that one day the Israelites would be speaking in a whole new language. And that's why it says in Isaiah 28, with a stammering lip and new tongue will I speak to this people. That's Isaiah 28, 9 through 11. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope we answered your questions, brother. And I do have your number, and we will call you.
Okay.
The number that most people could reach us on is 215-253-4448. Right now, that number is not being manned tonight, but if you leave a message, we will be sure to call you back. And for those that called it last week or the week before and didn't get through, it's correct now. We're getting in more calls or getting more numbers that we can deal with. So please be patient. Don't think that we've forgotten anyone. It's just that, we're putting everything in a database, and we will be sending out monthly newsletters so that we can keep everybody up on point in what's going on in prophecy. And there's other numbers that we'll give you once we have to know and trust people to give our private number to some people. But we know you out there, so don't think we're giving up on you, brothers and sisters, and don't give up on us, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll give you. I'll give you a call. I do have your number, Adrian. So
all right,
we'll call you.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. Can you all right? Let me just ask this, and you can just answer it later on.
Okay.
If you could just give us a quick rundown of like the end times of, because I don't know about rapture. I don't know if Jesus is gonna come back and we all gonna instantly be transformed. I heard about us being fishermen then hunters. Is later on in the segment before you leave, you could just kind of run over that real quick.
Well, I can give it to you in a nutshell, then I can answer it to you in detail when I talk, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
There will be no rapture from America. That's why the Lord is telling Israel to come out of her.
Okay.
Okay, there will be no rapture. Rapture is a propaganda that was put together by some mainstream Christians to deceive the people and keep them in a docile state.
Mm-hmm.
So that when the mark of the beast is implemented by the Antichrist government, you would think it's not the mark because you don't see an Antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
There will be no rapture from America. There will be plagues in America, like it says in Revelation 18. If we don't leave, we will suffer those plagues. Now, when it comes to the second coming of Christ, because we know that America will already be judged, when Christ come back, America will already be totally desolate through war. Okay? When Christ come back, he's going to raise people from the four corners of the earth that didn't get back to Israel as of yet. You understand?
So you saying are we supposed to leave America? Like somehow eventually God's going to lead us back to, or the Most High is going to lead us out of America somehow?
Well, the Lord is already leading us out. He's telling us to leave.
So I need to get a passport.
Get your passports. Get with like-minded brothers. We're getting some brothers. We got Elder Zai and Emmanuel over there now, and we're setting refuge.
Okay.
Those that are in like mind. Just because you're Israel doesn't mean you're going to be with us. Only those that are in Christ, that are baptized, that are trying to follow Christ will be with us, brothers and sisters. But to save your own soul, you have your Bible with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do I need to go?
Because people say, well, the Lord is going to deliver Israel. That is the Lord telling you to leave. That's him delivering you.
Okay.
Okay? And people want to compare it to Egypt, but we walked out of Egypt.
Yeah.
And those that believe the voice, which is really the voice of the Most High, it don't have anything to do with us. If you believe this Bible, you will do what the Bible say. Okay?
Yeah.
Go to Zechariah, the 2nd chapter.
Okay. Yeah, it's calling on there because Zechariah.
Zechariah 2 and 7.
Okay. 2 and 7. Okay, got that.
What do that say?
Come, O Zion, escape, you who live in the daughter of Babylon.
No,
Well,
you don't have a King James Version,
yeah,
so I'm going to read
not
exactly
the King James,
what it says in the King James Version Bible. You see, that's why we tell everyone, get away from these other Bibles.
Yeah, my King James is kind of messed up looking.
Excuse me?
I said my King James, like the words go down to the crack, so I can't see everything.
Okay, well, I'm just putting it out there because we have a lot of people listening. That's just a perfect example of how they distort the knowledge of the Bible.
Yeah.
Zechariah 2 and 7 says, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory which he sent me unto the nations, which spoils you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. So the Lord is telling you to deliver yourself. So if there was a rapture that was coming from here, he wouldn't tell you to leave yourself from the virgin, from those that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. He's telling us to leave because what they call the rapture, or us getting caught up in Thessalonians, will happen when Christ comes back. America will be destroyed before the second coming. So that don't apply to us. So we're not going to be raptured or caught up anywhere.
Okay, sounds good.
You got that? So we have to get together, put our minds together, and see, a lot of us don't think that we can do this because of financial resources. Okay, but we were slaves in Egypt, and the Lord made a way. So we must pull together as a nation and trust each other. That's what this government, that's what this world has been trying to do against us forever, is to separate us and make us think that we're individuals and we're out there by ourselves. We have a lot when we come together. We have engineers, we have doctors, we have people who know how to clean water, we have a plethora of professionals, nurses. I mean, we are all these things in this government, but yet we can't be these things on our own. That's a perfect slave. So now the Lord is forcing us to use what we have for him and for the survival of his nation. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to call you and we can discuss this further because it's going to be an interesting conversation, I see. All right?
When should I expect your call, maybe?
Okay, I have a meeting tomorrow, all right? I do have a meeting tomorrow that won't be over until 10 p.m. Eastern. But I'll at least, let's say 11 p.m. tomorrow night.
All right.
Okay, I don't know how long I can be on, but we'll do it 11 p.m. tomorrow. Is that good?
Sounds good.
All right, bless you, brother, and thank you for being patient, okay?
All right, thanks.
All right, bless you. Okay, since we have an open board here, and we have open lines, and lines are ringing off the hook, and you heard what I put out there, that we do apologize to the sisters for pointing out the negativity in the scriptures without showing that they are positive sisters that out there that's holding the families together, all right, that are trying the best, and they're not going to give the reins to men that are not ready to lead. So we have to step up as men so that the women can trust us to hand over the reins. I want to put that out there again. So, sisters, we're not here to bash you. We understand that if the deck is stacked against us, how much more is it stacked against the bearers of our nation? All right. Okay, we have someone from the 336 area code. How are you?
I'm great, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good today. Your name?
My name is James.
James. Okay, I spoke to you before, James. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing better than I ought to be, man. I appreciate you asking.
Okay, you have a statement. What state are you in?
I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, I got you. Okay, what's your questions, or what is your statement, or what have you, James?
Yeah, well, I got a couple things, but real quick, I just wanted to touch on what you were just telling the other brother. You were talking about how our people have so many resources. just wanted to piggyback on that real quick about, how much we do contribute to society, as far as us not having the resources and whatnot, how we spend more in the economy than like anybody else.
That's
So we have resources, and how much we contribute as far as inventions, the first open heart surgery, we invented, the trucks that have refrigeration, the stoplight, all these different things. So, we need to get out of that slave mentality that, we don't have and we can't do. We have it right here within our nation. So I just wanted to say that first off.
Okay.
And then secondly, I had a couple questions. I guess I just got two. I'm going to start with the first one because I think you could probably answer that one a little quicker. It's really more of a kind of curiosity. I don't see a lot of women in your videos and whatnot, since we're talking about women or not tonight. But when I do see them, I see a lot of them with the head wraps on and everything. So I was just wondering, what is that about? Is that some scripture or something that says that they should have their head covered?
Good question. Let me go to 1 Corinthians 11 chapter. Okay. I'm going to put this out there soon. We are going to have sisters that's going to be on video giving their testimony and their lot for this work also. But the men had to step up first. Let me put that out there. But what the Lord won't tolerate, according to the scriptures, is a woman leading a church. That's disobedience. Okay, so women can do many things, but they cannot be in a deacon or bishop or an elder position according to God. Okay, that's the key thing.
Okay. And that's kind of getting to my second question, but I'll wait for it.
Yeah, and there's scriptures on that. But see, they try to defame Paul when Paul talk about, the order of the woman. Paul had women that were actually widows that was operating with him, doing a ministry and everything. So it's not like Paul was against women. Paul was against chaos. Okay? When you go to 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, it says, I'm at the 5th verse. Okay. It says, but every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. Right? Matter of fact, we say it start with the men, right? Let's start with the men, because this is really piggybacking off of the scriptures we started off with about the divine order of the Most High Christ, man, women, children, so on and so forth. When you read the 4th verse, it says, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. Our head is Christ. So you see these brothers with these head wraps on, and they have the crown of their head covered, they don't have the crown of their head uncovered, they are dishonoring Christ. When you see these brothers out there that call themselves Muslims and have kufis on their head, they are dishonoring Christ. When you see these brothers who are Israelites that have their head completely covered, they're dishonoring Christ. All right? That's the crown of the head. The head is where your spirit is. So we must, when we are praying, prophesying, or in the scriptures, we must keep our heads uncovered, connecting to the Most High. That's obedience. That's with man. So let's start with man instead of just saying what the woman should do. Let's start with the man. Okay. Now let's go to the woman. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. That means if she have her head uncovered, have her hair all out, open, she's dishonoring her husband. That's number one. And if she don't have a husband, her head is Christ, she dishonoring him. I'm going to tell you why. For this is even all one as if she were shaven. And we know those of old time, it was a shame for a woman to walk around with a bald head. So Paul was saying, listen, it's better off you shave your head bald and walk around than to be praying, prophesying, and being an example for the Most High, and you have your head uncovered, not showing that you have any authority over you. The 6th verse, for if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. So what Paul was saying is if you don't want to follow the divine order and cover your hair, then you must get a haircut. Shave your head bald. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High. But the woman is the glory of the man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause, now here's the reason, ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Why? It says angels. In Genesis, the 6th chapter, it talks about the fallen angels who looked on the beauty of women and eventually came down and did a sin and slept with women and bare giants.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about obedience not based on just our realm, but in the spiritual realm also. That's enticing the angels. Okay? All right, we have an open board, so I have to go, but I do have your number, and I hope to speak with you soon, okay?
All right.
All right, bless you, Brother James.
Bless you.
Okay, again, the number to call in is 347-308-8224. I'm going to open it up for the next caller. We do have some open rooms, so if you do call in, we will get you in at 37 minutes before the show is done. Again, we want to put out there as brothers that we do apologize for our past sin against sisters, okay? And blaming the sisters for everything, when really they're looking for us to step up. And when we did that 80% of the women, or 70 to 80% are unmarried, one sister sent a letter and said, listen, it's not that we can't be married. We are not going to marry anything, okay? We're not going to be married just for the sake of being married. We want a man that's going to follow the Lord, okay? All right. We have someone from the 314 area code. This is Rakash Yar. How are you this evening?
I'm doing all right. This brother Corey, I'm just holding on the line. I can't get you on the computer.
Okay, I'm sorry, brother. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hang up on you, but call right back, and I'll make sure we keep you on the line, okay?
All right, bro.
Okay, we apologize for that, all right?
No problem.
All right, bless you. Okay. We have someone from the 602 area code. Okay, let's see. I'll tell you what. We have someone from the 832 area code. All right, let's see. Matter of fact, one moment. Let me see here. 817 area code. Let me bring him in here. We have an open board. Okay, we have someone from the 817 area code. One moment. Bring them in here. Okay, we do have an open board, so if you want to get in, or you tried to get in for the last couple of weeks and couldn't, here's your opportunity. We do have some time. 347-308-8224. All right, we have someone from the 832 area code. How are you?
I'm good.
As a matter of fact, the 817 area code. How are you? You say you're good. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Bobby.
Bobby. Let's see.
Correct.
Bobby. All right, Bobby. What state are you in?
I'm in Texas.
You in Texas. What part of Texas?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Okay. All right. Do you have some statements or some questions this evening? Or?
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
My question is King James black? And if he is, how is that possible? And what statements, or where can I find out, or can I actually find it that proves that he is an African American?
Good question. Good question. Well, we know King James is dead, so he was black. There's a book you can get called Nature Knows No Color Line, okay, by J.A. Rogers. And that can show you all the kingdoms that were being ruled in Europe during the so-called Dark Ages. In colleges today, they teach that there was 1,000 years of blank history, okay, that nothing existed, just a black period in Europe, which is impossible. Civilization went on continually throughout the four corners of the earth. There's no way there's 1,000 years of blank history in Europe. The reason they call it the Dark Ages or blank history is because that was a time where the Jews of Europe ruled. Okay? And around around 173, there was a big uprising in Europe with Pescennius Niger and Septimius Severus, which are two Jews that ruled in the Roman army. And because they had so much influence, they were able to take Rome and set up governors and kings in Europe that's not publicized in the Western world, because they don't publicize anything black in the Western world. That's just the truth. Okay? So when you do the history, you'll find out that King James was at the tail end of those dark ages. And there's pictures you can get of him, and he's clearly a black man. There's no question about it. Shakespeare was a black man. Othello was a black man. So when we do our history, besides accepting what's shoved down our throats, we tend to understand that we had rulership. But you can't teach slaves they had rulership. That would be sending the wrong message. So I'm giving you some sources. Nature Knows No Color Line. Pick it up. Now, another thing, and I don't know how they get this totally mixed up in Islam, where they teach that King James was a white man and King James was a homosexual. First of all, Islam came from over Saudi Arabia, the Middle East. How can they give you any history of what happened in England? So they do anything to defame the Bible, because the Bible rivals the Quran, which came around 600 years later, after Christ. Okay, this book belongs to the children of Israel. It was authorized by the children of Israel. Okay? So look into that history. And I think you'll get what you're looking for. You have any other questions? We have an open board here.
Well, I think that's about it.
Oh, yes, King James was a black man. Shakespeare was a black man. Okay? And see, we don't make color an issue. It became an issue because they didn't tell us that we were ruling anything. That's what makes it an issue. It becomes an issue when we stand up and say, hold up, something is not right here. You mean to tell me our civilization started from slave ships? The only thing you can teach me is about who made a peanut in America? Come on now. Okay. All this rich history and we discovered peanuts. I don't think so, brother. We were kings. We are kings. And when we realize that, we step away from the things that have been destroying our nation. Okay? You with me, brother? Bobby? Okay, I think I lost Bobby. Okay, who do we have on here? All right, we have someone from the 832 area code. I think they were on. Let's see what we have. Okay, I think I made a mistake and hung up on somebody. So if you call right back from the 832 area code, we'll pull you right back in. We'll put you on the top of the board. Okay? Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to pull someone in from the 832 area code. We still have some minutes here. Okay, we have someone from the 832 area code. You in Texas too?
What do you say?
What state do you live? What state are you from?
From Houston, in Georgia right now. Adrian's my brother.
Oh, okay. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You have some questions or some comments? Or?
I do have some questions, and you don't have to go into like full detail with like all of them, but I do have some. So,
What is your name?
Shakat.
Excuse me?
Shakat.
Shakat. Okay. Bless you, brother.
Bless you too.
Okay. So what's your question?
My first question is about, did you ever hear that the flood story was like plagiarized off a story of Gilgamesh?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Like, what do you have to say about that?
What I have to say about that is if you know the history of the Gilgamesh tablets, okay, the Gilgamesh tablets are the Babylonian interpretation of creation and the fall of the flood. The Gilgamesh tablets predates the flood, and they link directly to the Nephilim, which are the sons of the fallen angels who knew that the flood was coming because they were warned, and to keep their records beyond the flood, they recorded stories in stone. That's number one. After that, when Ham's son Canaan eventually linked up and with his sons who found the Gilgamesh tablets, or the tablets that predated from the Nephilim, they continued to scribe from the Nephilim on the other side of the flood. So there are records outside of Israel when it comes to what happened before the flood and after the flood, and those are the Gilgamesh tablets. But they are not the source, because there are records that runs along the same lines and dates as the Gilgamesh tablets, like the Book of Jasher, which is the upright one, and that book was actually on the ark and was passed from generation to generation. So because we look at one source and don't compare it to the other, we become biased and think that one is better than the other when it's not. Civilization was being recorded on both sides of history from different places. That's our take on that. So we don't totally discredit the Gilgamesh tablets because they existed and they were a different slant on what happened from different people. But it still proves the Bible is real because the story happened.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Like, there's so many different versions of the same story, so I would think it's actually true. Then it's not true.
But this is what you have to do. And I'm going to start with you.
All right.
You're not related to no one that did the Gilgamesh tablets. You're related. I can show you in the Bible where you came in cargo slave ships because of the disobedience of your foreparents. That's how you got here. So it's best that instead of us searching in all these places, we need to stay in the source that identifies us first. So instead of running here and there and being tossed to and fro in every wind of doctrine from every society, let's first find out who we are and where's our source. Because the Gilgamesh tablets don't value me at all. They're nothing to me because they don't record the prophecies of our people. They don't give the direction on what we can do in America right now based on what's happening right now. The Gilgamesh tablets cannot help me at all. Okay? The Gilgamesh tablets don't explain the importance of Christ and the principles of Christ and us coming back to him so that we can stand again as a people. So because time is short, we must make sure we spend these important hours in reading material that matters.
All right.
So I'm going to ask you, what do the Gilgamesh tablets do for you?
No idea, because I haven't done too much like research on it, but I've read it in passing, and it seemed like similar to the stories, just like that Zeitgeist stuff seems similar to.
Let me say, there's deception everywhere.
I understand that.
Psalms 147. Matter of fact, let me read this. Isaiah 34 and 16. I'm going to read this, brother.
All right.
Because it's like we are the people of the highest knowledge and don't have anything. It seems like we are the religion connoisseurs. You would think with all this spirituality and all the things we're reading that we would be out of slavery by now. Wouldn't you think that?
Yeah.
We're lost. Let me read Isaiah 34 and 16.
All right.
That reads, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. So the Spirit of the Most High that's gathering us is coming out of this Bible. This is where we have to read. This is the knowledge and wisdom of the earth. We don't need nothing else. You get this information and get yourself a King James Version of Apocrypha, you can tear down any philosophy, any book, any ideology in this earth.
I understand. I don't deal with philosophy. Yeah.
Brother, this is a radio show. You understand?
Yeah.
And we're not here to judge you. We're just putting it out there to the masses that all this other information is nothing to the Most High.
I understand it.
Okay? What is your next question? Because we do have limited time, and we have an open board. So.
All right. This should be real fast. A lot of people have questions on whether the Most High create evil or not. And in Isaiah 45:7 it says, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." Doesn't mean that He creates evil. That He created evil.
That's what it means.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
The Most High created everything. But see, this is what He did, though. He's clean of any sin. Because He created Lucifer, who one day became Satan. And Satan, through his disobedience, is doing the evil. So the Lord is clean of all evil. That's why Christ is going to judge Satan and bound him. After he bound, he will be loosed for a season, then thrown in the fire. Okay. So to Satan we ascribe all evil. The Most High made Lucifer, and because he created everything, he's the creator of all things. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Good questions, brother, and bless you. Do you have any other questions? We do have your number, so we will stay in contact with you if you don't mind.
All right. Hold on.
All right.
He has another question, but hold on. I got
Go ahead. Well, go ahead. We got about 21 minutes. I'm going to try to squeeze everyone in. But go ahead. What is your last question? Make it quick.
Okay. All the Edomites exclusively from Esau.
Well, all Edomites are from Esau, but here's the question. How do we know whether or not certain families are Edomites just because they're looking Caucasian?
Yeah,
now all Edomites are from Edom, but we don't know who all the Edomites are. There's some people who look Edom that are Israelites.
That's what I was going to ask. Are you always Israelite through blood?
Even the only way you can be an Israelite through blood. But the Lord tells us we are not to strive in genealogy. Christ says, "Let them grow together." Or you will root up some of your people with the other nations. Also, it says in Amos that the Most High will sever out from among Edom and the Gentiles a people for His name. So there's some Edomites that will follow Christ and escape that peril.
All right.
So we can't teach with a slant. We got to teach on both sides of things. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to read it. Amos 9:9 says, "For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the last grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake or prevent us." So first of all, we have to focus on us. We're talking about other people when the majority of Israel is going to die. The 11th verse says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this." So there's going to be a remnant of Edom and the heathens, which are Gentiles, which are called by the Most High's name for possession.
All right.
So we're not to count them with the Edomites that are against the Most High, because these are those that are trying to follow Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You got that?
I have it.
Okay, well, bless you, brother. May the Lord stay with you.
Oh, you too.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You still with me, brother? Okay, I think he hung up here. Let's see. We do have about 20 minutes. I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible. We'll try to get everyone in. All right? All right, let's see here. We have someone in from the 6th. No, let's see. The 248 area code. Okay, we have someone from the 248 area code. This is Brother Ricard Shiara. How are you this evening?
How you doing, Brother Shalom?
Shalom.
I just had two quick questions. I wanted to ask you in regarding the Edomites.
Yes.
Now, when I did a little research, I was trying to do some research not only on the language but on that term. It came back as hairy, and when I looked at it, it said as a hairy garment. And I looked at the word Esau in my American Heritage Dictionary, and it said hairy. And I looked, and it said that David, he was described as having a ruddy complexion, and I looked up ruddy, and it said red. Now, okay. I was wondering what is the difference, because if I was to look at I guess an archaeological anthropological perspective of the origins of like the Albion, all the Caucasians, it said between 12,000 and 6,000 years. So how would I go about putting that down so I can explain that to people?
Okay, in order to explain it to people, first of all you have to put all the archaeology down and stick with the Bible. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, you have to realize Esau and Jacob came from a black man and a black woman. So what did that show you? That show you that black people can have Caucasian children or Caucasian-looking children. So
okay.
that throw any theory out of the water right there, because we're living today, and I know everyone in the neighborhood have seen black people have children with blonde hair and look as white as the whitest person. So we can't deal with any anthropology or science on this, because that's a phenomenon from the Most High, that black people can have white children. That's number one. Number two, we stem from a light brown or white almost to a deep down dark chocolate brown. So Israel had a variations of colors, like if you look in the neighborhood today. Everyone is not one color, right?
No, I'm talking about, like, let's look at the Levites or the Haitians. The Haitians, when I look at Haitians, for the most part, they're they stay in a certain complexion of brown.
You've never seen a light skin or an Haitian or a albino Haitian?
I have. I'm saying that a albino Haitian, but I'm saying a Haitian that is not a mixed, being mixed with other nations.
Yeah, but I have seen lighter skinned Haitians.
Oh, okay.
So let's not even get into that, because that's striving in things that we'll never come to a conclusion with. The only thing that will put us on one accord is the Bible.
Right.
And geographic location according to the Bible. When you go to Genesis, the 36th chapter, I'm going to make it, because now we have some people out there talking about Esau was black. I don't know where they're getting that madness from. When you go to Genesis, the 36th chapter, let me go there. This is clear. Now, these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom, who took his wives of the daughters of Canaan. When you look at these families out of Canaan, they were the people that were in the land of Canaan, which was turned into Israel, who was living with the mark of leprosy, all right, which are lighter-skinned Canaanites, all right? So Esau took these lighter-skinned Canaanites to children. Through geographical location, when you look at this, it says, I'm going to go down to the 9th verse. It says, matter of fact, the 8th verse, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. So they are from the mountains. Esau is Edom. So I don't have to go into what David was and what other people was. I'm going into what Esau was. I know that David come from the line of Jacob. The Edomites come from the line of who? Esau. So I don't see how anybody can get that cross when that's two separate family lines. That's why it says in Genesis, the 21st chapter, that two nations, Genesis 24 and 21, that two nations shall be in thy bowels. So two different nationalities came out of one person. When you go to the book of Obadiah, let me go there real quick. All right? The book of Obadiah, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. So if you don't know who Esau is, look at the smallest race of people in the earth when it comes to number. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high. What people are known from the Caucasus Mountains or from the mountains? So it's common sense when you look at the Bible in the geographical location. And then when you look at 2 Ezra 6, 8, and 9, it tells us, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. To let you know that Esau will be ruling in the end of the world. So if you want to know who Esau is, look who's ruling. And you might say, well, Barack Obama is president. Well, who's giving Barack Obama his direction and his legislation to sign? Esau is. Okay? Here's another clue. The 4th verse. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Who was able to put themselves on different planets and do these things outside in space? So, to make it easier for you, brothers, you don't have to bust your brains with this because there are deeper things you can go into to liberate our people. Esau is the purebred people from the mountains. We can't put that on all white people because a lot of white people have mixed their blood amongst Israel, and Israel is scattered. So if we start judging strictly off of the outward appearance, we're going to root up our own people. Let's do like Christ say and love our neighbor and love everyone and forgive those that are opposing themselves. Okay?
Okay. And you know if I ask a quick other question?
Brother, I only have 11 minutes and we have an open board. So I do have your number. Let me have your name again.
Mike.
Mike, I promise to call you back, okay?
Okay.
All right, bless you. Okay. All right, let's see who we have here. We have someone from let's see, let me make this quick, 313 area code. Okay, bless you. This is Brother Ricard Shiar. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good. And you?
I'm doing good. Your name?
This is Tremaine, man. I called a couple times from Detroit.
Yes, brother. Tremaine?
Yes, sir.
All right, talk to me. We got a limited time, so I can only give you 2 minutes. Talk to me.
Okay, no problem. Actually, I don't really have a question. I'm about to give a quick statement. So,
go ahead.
So, the other day I was reading, I was watching one of the videos, and you said how everybody else knows who we are except us. So, I went to the gas station and everything because, of course, who owns our gas station in the city? You know what I mean? I get there, and finally I waited for everybody to leave. I just wanted to ask him, and just be honest with the guy there, the Arabic guy there. And I said, what's going on over here in the Middle East? You know, and immediately he got mad, talking about how many people is being killed in Gaza and the Palestinians and so on. So I was like, well, you know those are not the real Jews. That's what I heard. He's like, yeah. I was like, well, I've been doing research, and I'm finding out that who the real Jews are. And I looked at him and asked him, I said, who are the real Jews? And he looked at me and pointed at me and said, Yehudi. So when I went home and looked it up, I was like, what does Yehudi mean? Found out it means children of Israel. And so I went back up there to talk to him. And the dude told me that they always knew. They been wondering why we ain't step up to the plate and how come we ain't known. I was just like, wow, hold on, this is way too much, all right? My dude, the next day, my father had a conversation with a dude that's from Lebanon, and a dude that's from the Lebanon, the Palestinian. And he told my father at the end of the day, after my father told him what he'd been researching, he said, welcome back to your heritage.
Brother, you done said a mouthful, man.
Welcome back to your heritage.
That's good to hear.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Brother, the Lord tell you in Isaiah, the 16th chapter, that surely the nation shall come before thee and say, surely our father have inherited lies.
Yeah.
Surely our father, let me tell you, they can't stop us from waking up. It's the power of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
It's the power of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Let me read this real quick.
Okay.
make sure in case those that want to find this scripture. Excuse me, it's in Jeremiah 16 and 19. It says, O Lord, my strength and my refuge, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. And you know we're in affliction now.
Yes.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. So that's prophecy being fulfilled, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Oh,
brother,
my.
and it's good to hear, brother. And I do have your number. What's your name again? Tremaine, right?
Yeah, Tremaine. I actually have your other number. I want to call you after this anyway because there's some other things I want to speak to you on. But
okay,
if you have time, that'd be a blessing.
Well, I'll be back soon in the city, and there's a few things I have to clear up because I have a lot of work to do when I get back to Philadelphia.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
But, brother, and I want to say it to all of you, I know I can't get a chance to speak to everyone, but everyone is in our prayers, and we try the best we can. And there's some videos that we have to send out for those that are waiting on their videos. They will be out this week, and we want to tell everyone because we had a back order, okay? All right, bless you, brother, and I hope to speak to you soon. If not, tomorrow or the day after, okay?
That's it. Yeah, tomorrow's fine. I really need to talk to you. That's all.
Well, I'm going to make it. I'm going to try to make sure I talk to you, Tremaine. All right?
Sir. Yes,
bless
sir.
you.
Bless.
All right. Okay, we got 7 minutes, but I'm going to try to squeeze as many people in as possible. All right. Okay, this is Brother Rikash Yar. How are you this evening?
My name is Mark
How
from
you
California,
doing,
Southern California.
Southern California. Talk to me, Brother Mark.
Yeah, I've got a question. I understand that America is the harlot, and I do believe that. I've been studying that for some period of time.
Okay.
And there's a study out there, America the Babylon. You probably heard of it.
Yes.
Okay. Here in Matthew 23, verse 39.
Okay, let me go there. Matthew 23 and 39, you say, right?
Yeah.
Make sure I'm with you.
Yeah.
One moment. What's your name, brother? Again.
My name's Mark.
Mark, okay. I want to make sure I don't get your name incorrect here. You said Matthew 23.
39, yeah.
And 39. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Now, my reference Bible reference me to Psalms 118, verse 26 there, which is just a reiteration. But I'm questioning who he is here. Is it referring really to the Lord, or is it to the people that are returning either just after Babylon is destroyed or just prior to the destruction of Babylon that are coming back to the land, which would put it in correct chronological order?
That's in correct chronological order. You are correct.
Okay. So it's the he is actually the people that returning, not the Lord himself.
Exactly, because blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth. This is Christ. Till ye shall say.
Right.
Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. So you're looking at that ye.
Yeah, the he. You got it.
Look at that ye. Till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
You got to look at that ye.
Yeah.
Which is, he was talking to the disciples.
Right.
Okay? And it says, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. So you can relate that to those that are in the land.
Yeah.
And there's other precepts that we can go into. I wish you would have called earlier.
Yeah.
We have 4 minutes.
Yeah,
but there's precepts that we can go into that actually give the precepts more, more understanding.
Okay.
So we have 4 minutes, Mark. I would like to speak with you. So when you get an opportunity, call this number 215-253-4448.
Oh, okay. We got your number already.
Okay. Can you call that number tomorrow?
With Royal and his family.
Yes. Good brothers in California.
Yes, yes.
Very good brothers.
Yeah, we've been studying together, and we met, and we found common ground studying the Word.
Well, that's a blessing.
Awesome.
Those are some good brothers there.
Yes.
All right? So I do only have 3 minutes. So I want to get these last two people in, and I'll tell you what, I'll call Roy, and if we need to get you on a three-way to talk further, I'll be more than happy to do that, okay?
Sure.
All right, bless you, brother.
God bless. We'll see you.
Okay, we're going to try to make this probably the last call from the 321 area code. Okay, this is Brother Rikash Yar. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good, Brother Carl. It's a Kai Samak. I was just listening.
Okay, well, I'm going to hang up and see if I can get somebody in. You call right back if you need to, all right?
Yeah.
It's good to hear from you, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we have limited time, but I'm just going to see if I can get someone else in here. Hold tight. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do this. Shalom, brother. Hello?
Hello.
Brother Shakat?
Oh, yeah, hello?
Yeah, this is Ricard. All right, we got 1 minute. What was your last question?
I did have a, hold on, I didn't know, hold on, okay, hold on, I got it. No, what I basically want to say, like, you want to know, like, who I was, like, I sent you a message before on YouTube. My screen name is Man Up, Power Up, and, like, I want to ask you, like, whenever you get to Georgia, can you, like, call me? And, like, I want to be there.
Okay, we will call you. All right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to bless the show real quick, and I want to thank you, brother, for calling in. I seen you back, so I thought I knew I said I had some extra questions, but we're all out of time, so bless you, okay?
All right, bless you soon.
Okay, we want to say last but not least, we'd like to thank you, brothers and sisters, for your prayers and your continual support for the work. And Elder Zion Emmanuel is in the land, and we still need some financial support. If it's just a little bit, that's fine. You can just, if there's a way you can contact us so that you can send some information, you can send it to gatheringas1, that's the number 1, at AOL.com, so we can make sure we sustain the brothers so that they can do a good job while they're there. The last thing is, again, going back to the original topic, brothers and sisters, let's stop blaming each other. Let's love each other. Okay, they did this so that we can fight against each other and blame each other. And while we're pointing fingers, nothing is getting done. So let's forgive each other. With that, I'm going to say we love you, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.